What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Last week was a good week. I managed to test out the kayak with the outboard. Turned out great. I was concerned with an issue with shifting as I shifted the outboard from neutral to reverse. It created a large jolt. So today I'm going to be working on a support system, a triangular support system to sort of help with that situation. There was a lot of flex that I noticed that happened. Let's see what we can do today. I got a couple pieces that I think might work. So what I got today to work with is two 1/2 inch by 36 inch aluminum bar stock. We got some heim joints with the 1/4 inch adjusters. We can tighten and fine tune the tension on the heim joints. I got some 1/4 inch 28 tapper that accommodates the heim joints and the drill bit that accommodates the tapper. I also got some 1/4 inch 20 studs with the 1/4 inch 20 wing nuts. So I want to try to make this removable as I'm launching this and loading this up, so it's not a permanent fixture. I can easily, take it off. It's not going to be a stress, it's going to be a stress point, but it's not going to be to where I have to worry about the wing nuts coming loose. I'll add some locking washers underneath it to help prevent the wing nuts from coming undone. So I'm going to get these rods threaded out for you guys, show you guys how I do that. I actually did it once before when I created the shifting bar here. So it's a lot similar in the way I did it. There's really not much difference other than the scale and the size of it. So it should be quick, shouldn't take too long. I just got to figure out the lengths I need and how long I want to make these bars. So let's get into the video and show you guys how I do it. The first thing is to figure out exactly how far the steering bar comes in, just so wherever I mount it, it doesn't interfere with the steering. So let me operate the steering and see how far I need to go. I gotta remember how my clearance for the actual heim joint. When I add the piece, when I thread them in, it's gonna be way over here. I think the best part is gonna be mounted on the side. All right, let's do one side and we'll figure out how long I need them to be. Now when you screw this nut, this is actually, one side is right hand, the other side is left hand. So say, for example, if I tighten one direction, it brings these two together. Once I mount one on each end, I can mount this loosely to my mounting positions when I figure them out, then tighten this nut on one or either side to bring those two together and create my tension. So I think that's good. So this is pretty much how it's going to be on 1, 2, 3 on the next 3 sides. So we'll check back to you guys on how we get everything mounted. So I ran into a little problem. Seems like the angles of these, it doesn't give me much angle, because what it is when I mount it at this portion to where I need to mount it, the angle that I need has to come out a little bit further outward, but I can't because the head of this heim joint keeps hitting its max. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create spacers out of, I think I have a 3/8 inch rod, and I'm going to drill a 1/4 inch in between or inside that in the center and create a sheath around the screw where I want it to space this off of the outboard. So when I mount it, it pulls it off of it a little bit more, and it gives me more of an angle that I need outward. So that's what I'm working on now. This is the 3/8 inch rod with a 1/4 inch throughout. It's not exactly centered as I'm doing it by hand, so let me see if you can see it a little bit. I actually drilled almost 3 inches inward. So that's what I'm working on now, and we'll see if that works. There you have it. That is my custom heim joint supports for the outboard. So these are the standoffs that I made earlier. They are long enough to space away from the mounting position on the outboard itself, so that I have an increased angle to mount it. And then so it's pretty much going to be just like this. So there's a bigger angle. And then these screws, these are the 1/4 inch 20 stainless 3-inch screws. So how I'm going to do this is I'm actually going to use this as a stud, the screw, cut the head off, cut it down to the length that I want it, and then just imagine this side being the outboard. This standoff is going to be there. I'm going to mount my heim joint and then mount my wing nut to the outboard. So then I can just mount it, tighten that down, and everything should be mounted perfectly. Let's try it out. Let's see where I can mount it. So it's probably going to be just about there. That's its max turning position to that direction. So it pretty much clears everything. Here we go, drilling into it. It's not too bad. Now, my only issue is my 1/4 20 tap is snapped. So let's see if I can do it by hand. Give it a go. I mean, hopefully I won't screw it up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but tapped it nicely. Even with a broken tap. Now the only trouble is to match the other side in the exact position. Let's test it out with my screw that I have here. Hey, look at that. I'll use this. That's just to tighten it against it. Yeah. This now. I'll probably back that with a lock nut, a lock washer, just so it won't come loose. I'll have to find some. Let's let this back down. Put this back on. So far, that's what I got for a mounting position. So let's see where the other mounting position is going to be. So, little update. I couldn't reach back here to put a backer plate for these struts, and I didn't want to create a big hole just for one little bolt and washer. So what I did is I actually just drilled a 1.1 hole, and I have plugs on order that fit just within that opening and creates a watertight seal. So alright, so we got it finished up. Let me show you what I ended up with. So there are the struts. What I did is I screwed straight through the rail and I created a backer plate. I had a big fender washer back there with a lock nut. Leads all the way up to the tilt portion of the outboard. I drilled and tapped 2 sections, one on this side and one on the other side at the same spot, and mounted the bars. So tried to use all stainless hardware, whatever I had left, and with the wing nuts. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the wing nuts on there. We'll see how it works. But I like the design. It's slim, it's out of the way, there's nothing rough about them. It's very clean. So I did have to cut 2 holes on either end just so I can get a nut in there with the washer. I'm not sure if you can see in there, but it's sandwiched between 2 pieces of metal. I like it. I like the design, and then I have 2 plugs coming that just snaps right over the holes, and it will create a seal. Same thing on this side. It clears, you know, the steering, so that's good. This will help with the shifts. I mean, just, you know, alone, that's already insane, the amount of stability that it has. I think it's a great design. We'll see how it turns out. Doesn't look like it hinders any space here for cargo. So very lightweight, made out of aluminum, 1/2 inch by 36 inch bar stock. I cut them down to I think about 22 1/8, and then I drilled and tapped each end for the heim joints. Yeah, and then they're adjustable. You just tighten them up, and they're sturdy. They are in there. So who knows, maybe I'll even load it up with the outboard like this now that it's a little bit more stable, and then during transportation I can just, you know, put a piece of wood back here just to help keep it a little bit more stable. So thanks for tuning in for today. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, throw it down below, and I'll be happy to answer anything you guys want to know, anything that I missed today. So have a good one. Later.